Hey guys, and welcome back to The Sims 4. My name is Abby, and today we're doing another speed build. This one is a modern apartment complex. So this took me quite a bit of time. I think there are 8 apartments in total in this build. There is a full gym, well, it's not really a spa area, but a yoga studio area with some of those relaxation, what would those be called? Pedestals, benches. I don't know. They're really, really little. Those little square things that you sit on the floor for relaxation. Meditation stools. I think that's what they're called, actually. Yeah. So some of those are in there, and we also have a pool in the basement. So yeah, this apartment complex has pretty much everything, and it's in a really, really neat. I don't know. I guess it's just built really neat. I mean, it's very, very unique. I've actually seen this building built kind of similar to this in a photo somewhere, but I don't remember where it was, or else I would link the photo or something so that you guys could see where I got the inspiration for this build. But I thought it was really neat to have these different levels kind of layered on top of each other and all kind of pointing in different directions. So that's what I was going for here, and it actually worked out really well. I like this build, and this is one of my favorite builds that I've ever done, and I don't do a whole lot of modern builds on this channel, and that's really because I like traditional builds a lot more. It's just, my style. It's what I would probably live in. But this is nice. It's nice to do something a little different every now and then. Every now and then. You're gonna have to forgive me if I get a little tongue-tied. I did just then. It's been kind of a long day. I'm pretty tired. My family's been here. And so it's been a little hard for me to record the past few nights. So I'm kind of doing this all in one night, trying to get a couple of things done and a couple of videos done. So this video is going to be split up into 2, or the build is. So it's going to be 2 videos, but the build's going to be split up into 2, if that makes sense. I know I'm kind of rambling already, but I'm trying to make as much sense as I possibly can. That being said, if you guys hear any noise, any like voices or anything, that's my family, and I'm actually in a different room. I'm in my bedroom, but my bedroom's like right off the living room. It's in the most inconvenient place, but oh well, can't really do much about it. You will see me skip some of the more boring parts of the video, and a lot of that is just me figuring out the layout, which is kind of important, but at the same time, it changed so much throughout this build. I just thought it was kind of silly to leave it all in there because it never really stayed consistent until like the very end. So you will see the layout whenever I get into actually furnishing the apartments, and I do start that in this episode. I think I get all of the living areas, like the kind of the main areas, like the entrance area and the stairways and stuff. I get all of that decorated and furnished and nice looking in this episode, and then I get 4 of the apartments done, and then in the next episode we'll do 4 more apartments, as well as the basement area, which is the spa, the gym, and the swimming pool. So several different things going on here, I guess. And I've got some other builds that I'm really wanting to do in the next week or so. If time allows me to do that. It's been really busy, and I'm really tired from school. I'm so ready for summer already, and I mean, I just had spring break a couple of weeks ago, but it's just, it gets to be too much sometimes. And I know other people who are also in college, like, they understand me. They get the feels, but it can be really, really demanding sometimes, and it's just nice to get a break. So sometimes I can't really focus on doing my videos that much, and I really do. I try to prepare myself to do that, but, it doesn't work out that way all the time. I will say I have been doing a better job here lately, though, because I have had a video out every day for, like, the past at least week. I think longer than that, though, and if I did miss a day, it was just, like, one day. So I am very proud that I have been able to do that. I don't like to miss days when I, upload, because I mean, it's not that I'm lazy if I ever do. It's just that something has come up. I did have to miss a lot in the beginning of the year because I got really sick. So you might see a gap there if you go back through all my videos where I had to miss for like a couple of weeks, maybe even like several weeks. And then I had the issue with YouTube where my videos and everything got taken down for pretty much no reason. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Yeah. It's been a rough one this year. Hopefully it gets a little bit better. It seems like it's going to. And it's not just those few things that I've mentioned here that's happened, but I mean, it's been like a couple of different things here and there, and it's just like one thing after the other, but it seems to be looking up right now. I'm not one really to complain a whole lot, especially like not on a public platform like this. I'm not one of those people that post on Facebook just about how terrible my life is. Because it's just not me. I like to keep things private. And it's nothing like really, really crazy that's happened or anything. It's just, life gets a little stressful sometimes. And this has actually been a really great outlet for me when I need to decompress, making videos and working on The Sims. It really does kind of just let me take a step back and breathe. And sometimes you really need that. And I mean, I'm glad that I decided to start doing this. I'm glad that I really took the time and made the effort to do this because, I mean, some things in life I have quit at. I'm not going to lie. And it's not that I'm a quitter, but, sometimes it's really easy to quit whenever things get a little tough. And things have been tough. So I'm glad I've kind of kept this up. I mean, I don't really like to pat myself on the back, but for that, yeah, totally. Anyway, back to the build. Every apartment that I've built actually has a character that it's based on. So I do have people that I've made for this apartment complex, and I don't think I shared them on the gallery, but I do have them saved in my library. So if you guys would like to have those characters, I can sure put them up. Just let me know. Yeah, so I will actually describe them whenever we get to each apartment because it'll make a little bit more sense then when I explain the character, why I do some of the things that I do in each apartment. I actually really like these characters that I've created for this apartment complex, and I've thought about maybe starting a new Let's Play involving all those characters and this build. But I don't know. I've kind of messed around with it. Whenever I went in to go and take the screenshots, I put all those characters into their proper apartments and locked the doors and kind of tried to figure out how difficult it would be to actually play with all those characters at one point in time. Or at one time, I guess. 8 Sims at one time, 8 adult Sims anyway, is kind of difficult. But I don't know, it may not be that bad, and it may be pretty interesting. All of the characters are very different. They have very different personalities, and they're very interesting characters. So, I don't know, they could have a really great story involving all of them. I don't really know what it would be yet. But, this build was just one of those really, really interesting builds that, like I said, is one of my favorites I've done on this channel. And, it being something like a modern build that I usually don't do, that's what's really piqued my interest. I'm like, maybe I do want to play in this kind of a lot. Maybe I would really enjoy this. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Only time can tell. I am in part 12 now, or about to be in part 12 of the Vampires Let's Play, and I don't feel like it's going to be ending anytime soon. I was imagining the other day, what's it going to look like at part 50? Lots been going on here lately in that Let's Play. If you guys don't watch it, I suggest you do. It's pretty interesting, playing vampires is pretty cool, and what I've done in that Let's Play is just took the Goth family, who is one of the really popular families on The Sims 4, or in all the Sims games, and I turned them all into vampires, and now they're like creating a big vampire clan. So that's kind of the premise of the Let's Play. That and kind of, them living their lives, and the kids growing up a little bit. They only grow up to be young adults, I think. I don't know. They might grow up to be adults. I'm not sure. I need to look into that. I don't remember, but they're immortal anyway once they turn. So one of them may turn themselves back into a human later on. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's pretty cool though. But I did say I would discuss the characters that each of these apartments are based on, and this whole time I haven't done that. But this apartment here is actually just a studio apartment, and it's really bright and colorful. I called it the blue and yellow apartment in my notes, and the character that's going to be living in this apartment, her name is Trinity Jensen, I think, or maybe it's Jansen, I can't remember. But she's very bright and colorful girl. She's I would imagine she would be a college student, but we don't have university yet in this game, so we just have to make believe that that's what she would do. This next apartment is the other one on the first floor, and it is actually going to be the home to a really colorful and bright woman. I think her name was Liliana, like Liliana Rollins. I want to say that was the name. I've got really little scribble notes written down here, and I can't even read my own handwriting. It's like chicken scratch, so I think that's the name. That's what I'm looking at anyway right now. But this apartment is even more colorful than the other one. The blue and yellow apartment was really bright and pretty, but this one is like crazy. It's wild, and I really like it. It was almost a little tacky, but the woman that lives here, she's an elder, and she is really into dancing and just being really young at heart, and not in like a creepy cougar way, because we do have an older woman here that's a cougar as well. But we'll talk about her whenever we get to her apartment. This apartment belongs to Liliana, and she's super sweet and nice, and I would imagine she would be a good friend to the younger girls that live in this apartment building, and to everybody really. She just seems like she would probably be a really pure and sweet soul. And yeah, I mean, this apartment really kind of says that whoever lives here, it seems like a kid at heart, and that's kind of what I was going for. All the really bright colors and the really cool furniture. That's what it seems like to me, like something one of my little cousins would pick out for their house. So I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and I was trying to use items that I don't use a whole lot, and a lot of the movie hangout stuff pack, I don't use those because they are so colorful, and a lot of my builds just don't really have that many bright colors involved. A lot of them are very traditional, and so I keep to traditional colors. But yeah, I use that gray wall paneling there to kind of mellow out the really bright orange that's on the other walls, and the other bright colors that are there as well, because they're kind of all over this apartment with the neon lights and the bright chairs and the rugs. I really needed to mellow it out with something, so I did that darker wood paneling to do that. You'll also notice that Liliana has the first balcony in this apartment complex. The other girl, what did I say? Trinity was her name. She does not have a balcony, and she's the only one in this apartment complex that doesn't have a balcony. So every other apartment actually has its own balcony. That one it was on the side of the house there, and it would have been a little awkward trying to fit one in. So I just decided, this is going to be the smallest apartment anyway. It's going to be a little studio apartment, so just would leave it without a balcony. That's okay. And that's okay. I mean, not every apartment building has apartments that look identical, so this one's definitely one of those. I've never really done a whole lot of apartment living, so I could be wrong about that. I don't know. There could be apartment buildings, there may not be apartment buildings out there where all the apartments look different, so I don't know. I guess I really haven't been traveling enough in my life to know that. But I just assume, I think you can make an apartment building out of a lot of different buildings. So I'm sure someone has converted some kind of a building into an apartment complex, and all the apartments aren't the same. So some of them here are bigger than some of the others, and some of them have, bigger bedrooms or bigger bathrooms, and you'll see that throughout this build. And you'll see that, in the next part as well. I did try to keep these relatively short. This actually was the half of the videos that was shorter, so this The way I record is that I do it in kind of sections, and there were 6 videos that I had to include here. Um, there are 7 that have to go in the next episode, and I'm a little worried that it'll be over 30 minutes. I'm going to try, though, to make sure that it's not. Because I don't like to do videos over 30 minutes long, because I don't even like to watch videos that long, half the time anyway. Sometimes I do. Just depends on who it is and how interesting the video is. So I do apologize if the next one has to be a little bit longer. It shouldn't be, though. So this apartment here is actually what I call the black and white apartment. And everything in here is pretty much black and white. I mean, there are obviously going to be a few items here and there that are not black and white, but it's very clean. It's very, it's not very cluttered, I don't think, anyway. And all of the items are very new looking, kind of expensive. And I imagine that the guy that lived here would be a businessman. So I did create a businessman that would live in this apartment, and his name is Mark Mayfield. And Mayfield just came up randomly in the CAS window, but I was like, you know what, we're going to keep it, and we're just going to say he works for Mayfield, like, milk and stuff, or ice cream, whatever you think of whenever you think of Mayfield. I guess I just think of cows, but, I mean, they make things. They make ice cream and stuff. Mayfield, like, homemade Bluebell. No, that's Bluebell. That's not Mayfield. My bad. It's a Bluebell that makes the homemade ice cream that tastes so good. That's my house's favorite ice cream is that one. Just as far as, like, a classic ice cream goes anyway. Other than that, I like birthday cake flavored ice cream. And part of me only, like, really enjoys it because nobody else in my family does. So I know that if I buy some of it, that I'm the only one that's going to eat it. So it all gets to be mine. I get a little selfish sometimes. But that's because, like, my dad and my brother, they just eat and eat and eat stuff. They'll eat all your food. You'll be, like, wanting to come home and eat the rest of, like, something that's left over. This used to happen to me anyway in high school all the time. I would be ready to come home after school and eat something that was left over, and I would open up the fridge and it wouldn't be there anymore, and I would be so mad because it would have it got all eaten before I could even have, like, just a little bit of it, and it used to just break my heart. But it's not so much like that anymore since I'm in college now, and my brother's in college. And, I mean, I kind of miss it a little bit, honestly. I get a little nostalgic about things like that. Just the little things, I did quickly just go around the outside of the building there and place some lights because I forgot to do that beside all the doors. So I didn't really do a whole lot of outdoor lighting, and I usually do. I really like to put lighting up under the plants and the shrubs and stuff just to make a place really glow. But I don't know, apartment buildings to me always feel dark. So I just left it that way, This rug here actually came from the new bowling stuff pack, which I love the items in that pack. Love them. And I had said in that video of my mid-century house where I, like, really featured the pack, I said, I'd asked myself where my style was going to go after that video, because the new pack, was really retro, and I am sorry about that. There is somebody revving their vehicle's engine outside of my window at 10 o'clock at night. That's nice for neighbors to do, isn't it? Anyway, I had said that I was wondering where my style was going to go after that pack came out, because I really like that retro style, and I had not done that before. So here we are again using more of those items in another retro type build. And the woman that I created for this apartment, she's kind of a hippie. So this place is kind of looks like the 70s. Threw up in here, yeah. But I like it. I really enjoy this apartment. It's colorful but tasteful. Really well done. She's gonna have a yoga mat out there on the balcony and stuff, and she's a vegetarian, I believe. Let me see. Beatrice, I think that's her name. Beatrice Knight. And she's got, like, fire engine red hair. Really a pretty girl. I think she might be an adult. Might not be a young adult anymore. I did make, most of the Sims different ages, or at least I tried to make them a range of different ages, just because I felt like that would be more realistic in an apartment building. And, I realized that this isn't going to work like a city living apartment building. It'll be much different. And I kind of like that because I hate that in city living, you actually have to load the lot, like the separate apartments, whenever you go visit another one. It just drives me nuts because they're all right there in the same place and you still have to travel. It's ridiculous. It's okay though, it's not that big of a deal. But here, in this kind of an apartment building, it's not going to do that. The lag is probably going to be a bit crazy. I don't know though, it hasn't really bothered me too much when I've played around with it so far. I'll probably let you know in the second half of this video, because I'll be doing that one tomorrow, doing the commentary for it tomorrow. I'll let you guys know if I've noticed anything in the last 24 hours, if anything's really crazy about the lag or anything with it, because bigger lots like this are a little bit more difficult to play with, so they're just kind of more fun to watch be built, honestly. I love watching people do builds like this. I watch all kinds of different YouTubers do it, and just random YouTubers. I'll go down a rabbit hole of watching video after video after video of people building, and honestly, I didn't used to like listening to people commentate. I used to prefer music, but I don't know, I actually got to the point where I really liked listening to somebody's voice. I don't know if it was soothing or what, but it felt more personal, I guess, and a little bit more interesting, honestly. I think one of those tables is angled a different way than the other one. I can't tell from right here, though. I don't know. Oh, well. That's going to bother me a little bit. But anyway, this video is going to be coming to a close really soon. No screenshots for this part because obviously, they'll be at the end of the second part whenever I have everything all finished, which it is finished. It's just not all finished here. Not in this episode. I guess that's a little bit confusing. So you will see all the screenshots in part 2, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be up either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I may put something else up tomorrow. I don't know yet. We'll see how the day goes. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. You can go ahead and download this lot if you'd like to on the gallery. I usually put things up before I've posted the video, so you can always find my stuff there. But anyway, guys, thank you again, and I will talk to you guys soon.